last section of notes is 7.5 and 8.7, glide reflection, being a symmetry, and composition and dilations, not a symmetry. Our warm-up today is dealing with transformations. Which one moves the objects by sliding? Is it a reflection, a rotation, a translation, or a dilation? And of course, it is a translation. It glides, it slides. And glide reflection deals either translates a figure and then reflects it, or vice versa. It either reflects and then translates. Glides, moves to the side, right or left, up or down. Composition is a transformation made up of two or more transformations. You will see one of those on your test. And a dilation is a reduction or enlargement. Remember the scale factor, you will multiply the scale factor to see your coordinates. Remember I said it didn't matter if it's positive or negative, but if it's between 0 and 1, the absolute value, then you make the figure smaller. And if it's greater than 1, you're making your figure bigger. And it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive because it just changes the location. If we're going to graph the segment AB with vertices at A at 0, 2, let's go ahead and do that. And vertex B at 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and connect it because it's a segment. And then we're going to find the coordinates of the dilation of an image with a scale factor of 3. Now 3 is bigger than 1, so that means it's going to enlarge it. And all you do with the scale factor is you multiply. So A prime, you take both the x and the y coordinates and you multiply by 3. 0 times 3 is still 0. 2 times 3 is 6. Let's do it with the B. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Again, you're just multiplying the scale factor to each component of your ordered pair. So A prime is at 0, 6. And B prime is at 6, 3. Connect the points. Notice it is a bigger line segment. It should be. It's a dilation. So if we graph the triangle DEF with the vertices 3, 3, for D, E is at 0, negative 3, and F is at negative 6, positive 3. And connect the points because it's a triangle. We're going to find the coordinates of the dilation with a scale factor of 1/3. 1/3 is a decimal, 0.33 repeating. It's less than 1, greater than 0, so that means it's going to get smaller. And all you do is you take 1/3 and you multiply it by the components. So D prime, 1/3 of 3 is really like 3 divided by 3, which is 1. And 1/3 of 3 again is 1. So my new coordinate for D is at 1, 1. D prime. The image for D is at 1, 1. All right, the image for E, 0 times 1/3 is 0, and negative 3 times 1/3 is negative 1. So E is located at 0, negative 1. And F prime, 1/3 of negative 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2, should be a negative 2. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. And you're really just multiplying by 1/3 because 1 times 3 is 3, and 3 divided by 3, that's how I got the 1. F is at negative 2, positive 1. F prime. And we connect the points. There's your picture. So the next one asks you to explain the composition of the glide reflection. In other words, what's happening with the transformations? What's going on? Be very specific. So we start with the preimage. Preimage don't have the prime markings. So right here I have A, B, and C. And then I do something with it to get over here in quadrant 1. And I get A prime, B prime, and C prime. Well, I noticed that the A's are on the opposite side. So I'm wondering, Was it reflected? Well, let's figure out. C is 1, 2, 3, 4 places away from the y-axis. C prime is 4 places away from the y-axis. And then they all match up if you check them. So it is a reflection. And then a reflection of what? Where did you reflect over? And this one reflected over the y-axis. Okay, so that's what we did first. And then from A prime, B prime, C prime, what did we do? Well, I just kind of moved it. You notice that A, B, and C are in the same locations. They're the same size still. So I just moved it. I moved it down and over. We'll pick a point, either A, B, or C prime, and see where it ended up. So if I chose C, let's get a different color so that we can see where I'm going. If I chose C, I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. I went down 6 places, but over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Over 6 to the left, and that means they're both negative, so I went down and to the left. So, I moved. What uses when you do sliding? That's a translation, right? So I translated, and there's several different ways of writing this, okay? And you could say by vector, -6, -6, okay? Or you could say I went down 6 places to the right, or left 6 places. But I'd rather use the correct terminology, which is vector. Or you could have wrote it in vector notation. I'm not really picky about how you did it, but I do want you to use vector or vector notation.